is I'll grind a stump. I'll find a stump, grind it, and then plant a tree in exactly the same place. Okay, so 2 more. This place looks really bare now. Okay, let's see if we can figure this out. We'll angle it that way, and I'm going to turn into it. That's not quite what I had in mind. Let's try that again. What I'm trying to do is push the tree. That's better. Push the tree like that so it ends up in line with the forks. And we'll rotate over, grab and lift. And that should not probably be possible. Ouch. So I do generally try and grab them. Whoa, in the middle. That was good timing, I guess. It takes approximately 6 years to regrow full height, and we'll end up with some good, I want to say about 30-meter trees. Normally I cut 6 feet for a short 10-wheel truck. Logging truck. But in this case, this Johnston trailer, it's not as high sided, so I can't carry as many logs, but it's longer than a sort of a short truck, so I can do 7-meter logs instead of 6. With 6-meter logs, we'd be looking at, what would it be, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5 pieces from each tree, 5 lengths from each tree. But cutting at 7s, we'll be looking at 28s, and possibly some loss, because obviously the extra 2-3 feet, I mean, we could save them up and then haul them all down. But they're not going to be, I think it's shorter than 3 feet would values start dropping quite precipitously per tree. Oh, that's good. 3, 2, 1, right click, poof. Go. And where's the other one? This one. I do like that you can roll the chainsaw. And as you can see, these stumps, not real. So trim the tree while crouching seems to work a little bit better. Oh, and we also met the neighbours last week, who have a few kids, and they just put up a tyre swing last week. So our former foster daughter went over there to swing on the tree, which was a good thing. Okay, that's one. Where'd the other one go? between the stumps. There we go. So that is all the tree felling for year 1 on Oakfield Farm. Turn off the thing. But yeah, as far as tree replanting goes, I usually try and replant exactly what I cut down. So if we've cut down 50 trees, I'm going to try and replant 50 trees in pretty much the same place they were before. So we're effectively restoring what was cut down. To lower that angle so I can see what I'm doing. There we go. No, don't grab it tighter, let go. And up. Will I go 6 on this playthrough? It's possible. I mean, I'm only playing this. The thing with Lawfolds was I played on, for at least 4 years, I think, 3 to 4 years. We may have been in the 4th year when I started streaming it, but I had played it pretty much every day while watching streamers or YouTube videos in the evening after work, because this is something that doesn't take a lot of it doesn't take much concentration. So I put in many hours. I remember doing exactly this, just picking up trees and dropping in the trailer while watching Arthur stream various farms in 17. And with this playthrough, it's only Saturday morning for a few hours. I mean, sometimes we put in up to 4 hours, other times 2 to 3. So I'm not going to say 6 years is outside of the possibility, but I'm also not going to say it's incredibly likely. And I think the only reason we did that 6th and final year was to get the cow breeding achievement done. Touch that down, and then we should grab it properly. No, we shouldn't. Okay. Well, let's just hope it doesn't come flying out before we get to the trailer. How about that? As a plan. And lift. Oh, we did end up grabbing it well, so that's okay. So, last piece. Oh, nearly missed it. And it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning, midwinter. We are done. But also the other thing to consider is White Hawk, good morning and welcome to the stream. The other thing to consider about Farm Sim 21, or whatever it ends up being called, is it's not coming out for Christmas. So we've got at least 6 more months. I think we're only about 100 hours in so far. And the other thing that may influence is that's not going to work. We are going to have to drop off the weight. So drop that there. Need to see what changes they make to Farm Sim 21. There we go. Because if mods are restricted, or we end up with slots like the consoles play with, I may not necessarily be interested in playing Farm Sim 21 as much as I am in Farm Sim 19 or 17. Whoa. Let's turn the lights off. Turn the flashing lights on. Let's put the normal driving lights on. So yeah, we'll really have to see what happens with Farm Sim 21 when it does happen. But it could be that this particular series goes on until I get extremely bored with it, as opposed to goes on until it's probably time to finish it and move on to the next version of Farm Sim, which is kind of how this one did. Yeah, and that's kind of my thing. I mean, slots works kind of okay if you are if you want to do a Fent farm where every farm's a Fent 300, 500, 700, whatever, then slots works. But if you've got lots and lots of different varied equipment, then it doesn't work out well at all. So I mean, I want 2 heavy tractors on this farm and a couple of medium tractors, and that's all well and good, but I don't really want all my medium tractors to be exactly the same model. Now this is, I'm guessing we've probably only got 19,000 here. Maybe I have to stand closer. There we go, 9,000 even. Oh no, 16,000, that's kind of not so bad, I guess. Okay, we can take all of this lot back up to the main yard. Actually, we can go this way. Oh no. I just thought oh, I don't need a front loader. Or I don't need a front loader at the store, so we're going to have to take this trailer down to the store. Where did I put the cattle? Oh, over here. And there. So we want to unpack that. Zoop. And turn the things off. Now you don't need a super strength mod to pick this thing up. Just in case you were wondering. And we'll put this down there at the back. So this is the animal trailer version or thing. You reverse the trailer underneath it and convert it into an animal carrier, which is kind of cool. Should I leave the logging forks down here or take them up to the main yard? Decisions. Let's put the logging forks here. Because we get, next time we need a logging trailer, we're going to have to come and get the safety bars anyway. So dropping those there with it means that I don't have to try and remember where they all are. The logging stuff is over there. Yes, but if they're going to be making Farm Sim 21 more universal, so console players can play with PC players, then something's going to have to give, because there's going to be limits, or there's got to be limits if they want to play together. One, the stuff has to be, what am I trying to say? One, the stuff has to be compatible, so you can't use mods that aren't on the mod hub if you want to play with console players. You can't load more mods than a console can cope with at any given time. And so that becomes a limiting, the console becomes a limiting factor of multiplayer if they go that way. Okay, so sheep still okay. We are going to have to take a bale out to them eventually. I wanted to not be on this screen, I wanted to be on this screen and look at the numbers of trees I've cut down. We have cut down 58 trees. Call it 60. We cut down 20 today. So, okay. So 3 pallets of trees and the equipment. I'll get the equipment shipped to the farm. Oops. The equipment shipped to the farm. Forestry, that's the word for it. They're actually quite cheap. And that's that. Oh, I do have that. That's cheaper than, well, actually they're all both cheap. I think maybe we'll buy them and sell them back. Too. Now we're probably going to end up with a loss on those. If we use them within 30, if we keep them for 30 real-time minutes used, then we can give back. Plant saplings, poplar saplings, sugarcane pallet. stuff and bits and things. So I want sapling pallets, 20 pieces, so 3 of those. 1, 2, 3. So we've got enough pallets for 60 trees, and we chopped down 58, so that's well, and that's, I mean, that's the other thing. Because remember, you don't have to host, you can rent a server. So maybe multiplayer has limits. And the rented servers already have limits, how much memory you rent in order to load your map and all your mods on. Well, not memory, but storage. How much storage you rent in order to load everything on is a limiting factor, and maybe they can factor that into multiplayer. It would be, for a personal, using this PC here as a multiplayer server, which obviously I do with Mrs. Osa, and at times she's done with her farms and let me play on her farms. You kind of don't want to necessarily be restricted by the console player has to host. I honestly don't know when the ETA is for 21, because they haven't even announced that yet. I mean, all we've got announced is the Cavernland Vicon DLC so far. And I think normally they usually start announcing things about 6 months before release. So obviously 6 months from now is Christmas. No, it's not. I think, no, they would normally start announcing Farm Sim 21 in February on their normal schedule. So that's 9-10 months advance. So it's not going to be coming out within the next 9 or 10 months. Oh, and here's all the stuff. Let's crash into the semi. Yeah. Whole tractor, not very good turn radius. And we'll block that van in temporarily. Jump out, and I want to send those home. That's not how we send them home. Oh, can I please have that delivered to my home? Thank you. And that delivered to my home. That's kind of handy. Okay, we got that done. Get the trees loaded. Yeah, and it's, I think at least some of it is down to the release of the new consoles for Christmas, and typically there's always shortages that first year, and fights in Walmart to get the two systems that Walmart managed to get their hands on for Thanksgiving Day. So bringing out a game that's, going to work. Tell you, come on. That's designed specifically for the new generation or the next generation of consoles, and the typical supply problems that entails a new release. You don't necessarily, you probably don't want to be introducing your new game at the same time, because if you're trying to impress your publisher with sales, you're not going to end up with that many sales at Christmas, because only the people who manage to get hold of the console are in the market for it, and not all of those are going to be farm sim people. They're probably a lot of them going to be first-person shooter people. I should probably have started from the other end, but oh well. Oh, what happened there? And I think, that's why normally they'll release it for a full schedule, or late fall, early winter, because that's when most people are spending lots of money and looking for new titles to add to their collection. And it's Christmas vacation, holidays, people are looking for something to do during that time. So new games will fare well when that happens. That's not... Seriously? Come on. Off. There we go. Okay. 6. Okay, I can see what's the problem there. We're too close to the existing load. There we go. So it's not pretty, but it works, I think. And oh, is this one completely stuck? That is unfortunate. Okay, now we play problems with farm sim physics. We're going to have to get out and drag that around. Yeah, I'm fighting that. Oh, yeah, we got that all sorts of stuck. Wow, I can't even throw it. Okay, let's strap these down so nothing underwater happens. dancing like crazy. Let's back up big time. Yay, okay. Ugh. Seriously, need some auto-load pallet forks, but for now. Strap that down and put this back where we got it from. But yeah, there's other times of the year that you can get away with releasing games and still do well. Okay, angle to 0. And height to 0. Lights off, engine off, jump out and run over here. So this lot can all go back to the forest, and I can bring the two pieces of equipment down to the forest in the Valtra, I think.